Ladies and gentlemen, we have Glenn Fricker back on the channel. How are you doing?
Not too bad. You know, it's Saturday morning. It kind of feels like a Sunday. It's a little nice and quiet here. I'm at Spitfire Studio, kind of sharing the space with Warren Hewitt. And so far, it's been a month or so, and we haven't killed each other yet, so that's good.
Good stuff. There's always time. But yes, over the last few weeks, Glenn has been sending me rather cryptic questions. Generally about, hey, have you heard of this plugin? I mean, what do you reckon to this? And it turns out he's been cooking something up. Mostly, of course, all on his own, but, you know, you ask people questions. And...
Of course I do.
You do. I mean, and so Glenn has...
You go to the people whose opinions you respect, and the people with knowledge, naturally, you know, you cooked up that incredible, Reaper course, so I figured, hey, let's ask Adam a few things, because apparently he knows Reaper rather well.
Well, thank you very much. And yes, the result of those, partly of those questions, but mostly of your hard work behind the scenes, is a new course. So, in a nutshell, do you want to tell my viewers what this is about?
Yes, it's a Reaper course. It's called Mixing Metal in Reaper with Free Plugins. And it's absolutely nuts. It's 6.5 hours long, and it's definitely the longest course I've ever done. I thought Total Heavy Guitar was going to be my most ambitious course, and this wound up, just going that much longer because of there's just so much ground to cover. The song is just an absolute monster. It's an 8-minute metal epic with like full symphony going on, plus live contrabass and a live grand piano. It's the first time I ever got to record a grand piano. That was great. I actually had to rig up a portable recording rig and go over to a friend of a friend's house and set that up, and that turned out great. The song is called Medusa, and it's a really cool piece. It's by a local Windsor band called Perpetuate. They had a 5-piece with keyboard, a female keyboardist and singer. So it's a little bit different. She's a little bit more operatic in her vocals, maybe a little bit show tunes. Not quite a pure-blooded metal singer. She got a lot of shit for that, but it really gave them their own sound, you know what I mean? And that's one thing I worked with the band a lot on, was getting them to harmonize with each other so they could develop their own sound.
Good stuff. Now, the reason this course is particularly important for me is that when I was starting out using Reaper, I'd already been using some plugins that you had to pay a lot of money for, which was a real barrier to entry for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. And
sure, absolutely.
I tended to look for affordable or free alternatives at that time, and that was 10 years ago. There weren't as many, and I spent a lot of time trying every plugin and going, this is great, this is terrible, this is terrible, this is great. Mm-hmm. And it took me so long to get there that is kind of what you've distilled down, right? So this is for people who don't have a huge budget, but they want great results. So without giving the entire game away, what have you found?
Well, let's put it this way. I think we priced this thing, what's it going for, $67, so it's about the price of one reasonably priced plugin.
Right.
And what I've got is I went through this huge list of stuff I like using, and I try a bunch of different things out, too. I try a few different plugins out, like, say, on the 2-bus. I try, like, what was I using? The DCAM, and there's a couple of others I tried out. And there's a whole bunch of different reverbs I tried out on the drum reverb, like one of yours you suggested, where you pull up the IR based reverb,
yes,
room simulator thing. That was pretty cool. What the hell was the name of that thing again?
Oh, Reverb, the plugin, or was it the IRs?
No, it was the IR loader /IRs.
Yeah,
what was that called?
It was called Reverb. But
right.
It's like Reaper, REA, Reaper, Reverb.
Oh, Reverb or something like that.
Yeah. So it's
okay, yeah, and you showed me where to find like a repository on like the Internet Wayback Machine of where these IRs are.
You can always go digging.
Okay, cool.
But that's the kind of thing. Like I'm guessing it's not just me that you found all these things from.
No. And the thing is, the two Reaver IRs I used for that, I included in the package. They're public domain. If they're available on the Internet Wayback Machine for public consumption, then they're available.
Yeah.
If anybody has an issue with it, please email me. But seriously.
Yeah, I mean, if the website's no longer there, then
exactly,
they obviously stopped supporting it for some reason.
Exactly. Anyway, so we take a look at some different channel strips, some different ways to process the drums. That's the thing. I going through the whole thing, I really enjoyed it, but I wasn't particularly thrilled with my initial drum recording, so I called up my very good friend Jackson Ward, who's like, ace level session drummer, and said, hey dude, here's the song, can you put some drums to it? He's like, hell yeah. So he completely redid the drums in his place with, just a stellar recording and a stellar performance. And yeah, that's pretty damn cool. So you get the original 2011 recording plus some awesome drums on top of it, which is great. And we did some cool stuff, The one thing I featured for the guitar mic was the Austrian Audio OC818 mic, which is one of my absolute favorites. That's he's running away. Oh, he's got one.
Yes.
Oh, awesome.
It arrived, finally. So yes.
Outstanding. Dude, mic up a cabinet with it. It's incredible.
That's on my to-do list for this week is the, yes.
Yes. So I've included a bunch of files for that. And the great thing is their Polar Designer, which you use to manipulate the tones, is available as a free download.
Right.
Which is great. So that works there. You guys can get your hands on get your heads around working with one of those mics. Mm. I also have an extra module which uses free amp sims. And at least on the rhythm guitars, I didn't track DIs for the leads for some strange reason.
Whoops!
I should go back in time and slap myself. Anyway, we run it through Ignite Emissary, and what's really cool is you get a free copy of my impulse response package from Lancaster Audio, which is pretty awesome too.
Ooh, that's not cheap. So that's value in itself.
Well, yeah, we do the value added thing. I mean, like that thing's worth $40 or $50. We're just throwing it in because we say, hey, thanks for buying the course.
So yeah, buy Glenn's impulse responses and get a free course.
Yeah, something like that, or
whichever way you want to see it. Hey,
yeah, exactly.
Gotta love value.
But I do like how it turned out. Because I mean, like I'm doing it at my studio, and I actually pulled the mix up the other day just to make sure everything was cool. Pulled it up here at Warren's place, and like. Even the intern was going, wow, that turned out pretty good. And I'm like, yeah, that's using free plugins. He's like, holy shit. Like, let's run seriously, let's run a clip right here. But yeah, it's amazing though. A lot of the plugins I wound up using are like just some of the default ones in Reaper, which is great because the RIA plugs are outstanding. The EQ, the compressor. I did wind up using the Reek EQ instead of the RIA EQ.
Yeah. Well, that's something I found.
Clear as mud?
Yeah. Oh, tell me about it. That's the most annoying thing about Reaper for me of anything is that their plugins are REA something. So it's re something, which could easily be misunderstood. But when you see them, it makes sense. It's just when you try to talk about it in conversation, you sound like a lunatic.
Yeah, it's like that movie, that thing you do where the band was called the Oneaters.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dear. Yeah.
Okay, I'm officially old. I just referenced the 90s movie, so there we go. Anyway, but the great thing is about Reaper is a lot of the included plugins are really, really great. It's just they don't have the prettiest interface, and so there's a tendency, it's just human nature to kind of gloss over I don't want to work with that.
Yeah.
The sounds you can get out of them, though, are fantastic. But the RIA EQ looks gorgeous. I got to say that. But I wish somebody would make a RIA compressor or a channel strip and give it a new interface, because that'd probably do it a lot of good.
It's funny. A lot of people mix with their eyes, don't they? A lot of people see it and they think, oh, I don't like that. But if you're in a pinch, they work perfectly well. And they do a lot more than you think they do.
Exactly. And then, this thing is we also take a real deep dive into some of the JS plugins, because that's just a whole world. I've been working with Reaper for years. I just kind of ignored. And I started pulling it up. I'm like, I wonder what's available here. And I was like, holy shit, there's just some absolutely unbelievable plugins there. Like for my vocal reverb, I wound up going with the Satan Verb, right, which is one of the JS plugins. Totally free to download. You just got to go through some steps and go install a repository. Right. And then download that. I'm actually going to have a video coming out on Monday or Tuesday about how to do that, because it is kind of tricky. But I was just shocked. That reverb on vocals was just stellar. It's as good as any commercial reverb I've heard.
Satan Verb. Whoa.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Huh.
Okay, I'll
check that out.
I'll send you. One of the other plugins that I used from the JS was the Psyche Transient Designer, and that was in one of the JS suites, and that I used that on snare drum, and that was just super cool as well. Yeah.
Yeah, there's quite a few JS plugins that they're all coded in such a way. There's actually a button you can press where you can see the code. So if you're a real programming nerd, you can go in and go, how have they done this? And go, maybe I could change this, tweak this, make it my own. I mean, if you are that way inclined, not everybody is. You don't have to. Choice is good.
Yep. One of the other plugins we go for is the Tokyo Dawn plugins. You know, that's just an amazing suite. I use their compressors quite a bit in this mix, and that's pretty awesome as well.
So you said the course was $67. Is it out now? It's just been released. Is that right?
Yes, it just dropped yesterday, and this thing, we've got a couple of bonus limited time deals going on for the next couple of weeks. It's $67, but for $87, that's the Pro bundle, and what'll happen is myself and Warren Hewitt from Produce Like a Pro will do an exclusive live stream with you where we review your mix. How freaking cool is that? And we've also got, for $127, we bundle my Reaper course with the Pro bundle with Adam's Ultimate Reaper course as well. How freaking cool is that?
That's
I
awesome.
gotta say, Adam's course is like my favorite thing ever. I didn't know Reaper was just so amazingly capable. So there you go. It's like, you want to get the whole shebang, grab that. It's only going to be available for the next couple weeks though. So definitely
it makes
recommend
perfect
checking that
sense
out.
as a bundle, because I mean, if you want to do the mixing with free plugins, that's where Glenn's stuff comes in. If you want to really deep dive into how to use Reaper full stop, that's where I come in, and then you carry on, and Glenn takes the baton and runs to the finish line.
Exactly. It's like, Adam shows you all the bare bones, how to wrap your head around Reaper and how to work with its various idiosyncrasies and whatnot and do a whole project. Me, I go take you through an intermediate level to almost advanced level mixing course where you have to deal with metal guitars and how to get them to work with all these layers of synth tracks. I think we had something like 12 or 16 synth tracks going on all at the same time. It's challenging.
Yeah. Glenn, always a pleasure to see you. Check out the course, guys, and we will see you in the next video. See you later, guys.
Take care.
Hey everyone, that might be the end of the video, but if you fancy carrying on this conversation, we have a Discord server, link is in the description. We're also on Patreon, which is something you can really help us with. We also are on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter at Hot Pole Studios. See you there.